off. Hopefully the Facebook Live is working. Don't know. Facebook's been a little quirky tonight. So welcome to tonight's meeting, everybody. Tonight's meeting is going to be on the third lesson of using the Salon Ninja platform. We're going to start off. Last week we left off on the Opportunities tab. This week we're going to start off on the Marketing tab and what you can do with that. And then after that, we're going to go over a brief overview of what I talked about tonight and the previous lessons and go over any questions. I have everybody muted for now. After I'm done showing the lesson for tonight, I will unmute everybody and we can chat. Okay. So with that being said, once you're logged into your platform, this is what your platform should look like when you are logged in. What I want you to do when you get a chance is go into the Marketing tab. You'll see under the Marketing tab, there's a whole bunch of features, okay? Different ones. The ones you're going to use the most are campaigns and bulk requests. Campaigns simply are what they say they are. A campaign is an automated campaign that goes out to the client telling them or asking them to perform an action. So if I click on that, you'll see all these pre-built campaigns that are in here already. You will have some pre-built campaigns in your platform if you haven't built any of your own. Obviously, we give you some templates such as the pop-up campaign. This is probably the most popular. It's generating the most business for the salons. It's actually outperforming Facebook ads right now. And what that is, and I've gone over this before, it's basically a pop-up on your website that says, hey, before you leave, make sure you take an action. Okay, so when we click in this campaign, we have a couple sections, okay? We have up here at the top, published and actions. Actions, you can copy the campaign and use it for another campaign as a template and then just edit it. Makes life a lot easier than building these from scratch. Published or unpublished, you can put it in draft mode, right? Draft will unpublish it while you're working on it, okay? In the campaign itself, you have campaign configuration. You have the name of the campaign, okay? So if you want to change the name of the campaign, you would just click on it here and change it, okay? If you want to change the campaign configuration, which you should, this is where you edit it. And what the campaign configuration is you can do a few things in it, but the most important ones are your from address, where it's coming from, and who it's coming from, because this is going to be where the person that receives it sees it's coming from. And this is going to be the signature line saying, when you see in an email, basically the headline, right? It says Gina from Platinum Salon in this case. So that's basically what it is. Then you can assign a value also to the campaign, whatever the special you're running is. You can also add a tag in here. For instance, we have pop-up in here, okay? Allow multiple means if you allow the same person to go into the same campaign multiple times. Stop on response means that the campaign will shut off as soon as the person responds to a text, email, or whatever is in the campaign. Okay? Event start date, this is important. You're always going to want to set the start date. This started way back, but if I wanted to change it, I could say now, I could start it in the future, things like that. What time of the day it goes out. So those are all important things. Then, of course, you hit save. Okay? That's going to bring you into the actual campaign configuration. So when you're building a campaign, you have multiple items you can do. In this case, it's just email and SMS, but you can also add other events. Other events might include any of these. SMS, email, a voicemail drop, which is ringless voicemail, a manual SMS, which is going to be a reminder to you to send an SMS, a manual phone call, same thing, a wait, same thing. An automatic phone call can go out, but you better have a headset on for when that goes out. You can also send messenger messages if this person has contacted you in any way through Messenger. And many of your clients do communicate with your salons through Messenger. So there is that ability also. Okay, but the basics that you're going to want to use is email and text messages. So by creating them, you have a couple forms in here. You have when they go out. Okay, this is always going to show you when that message is going out. You can change that over here on the right, where it says, in this case, after 0 minutes, that means it's going out immediately, right? After 3 hours, it's pretty self-explanatory. And you can change these to hours, days, weeks, whatever you need to do, okay? Then you're going to come in here and you're going to actually edit the messages. You're going to want to look through these messages. It's a simple email editor. You can change the name of the email, whatever you want to change it to. You can change what's going out. In this case, it's your voucher, contact first name. Contact first name means that it is actually picking up the first name of the client who opted in. The system has some automated custom values that it will pick up, and you can always see them by clicking here, right? These are all things you can add in here automatically. Okay, so in this case, the email's here, hey, contact first name, a booking link. Whenever you want to put a link in here, all you do is type out the wording, click on it, come up here to the hyperlink button, and you're going to put the web address that you want it to go to right there. In a phone call, if you ever want anything to phone call, it's the same thing. The only difference is in the hyperlink, you're going to put this, call to, or TEL, colon, with a number. And that will create a click to call button. Address is pretty much the same thing, right? So here we have an address, and the hyperlink is going to be the Google address to Google Maps. So you're able to do those types of things inside of this system. So when you get your templates, I want you to go through them, make sure they're all worded correctly, the way you want them worded. Make them personal so they actually think they're talking to a person. For instance, here's a text message, right? So it's saying, hey, contact first name. I don't know what the first name. Say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for signing up. You know, and you want to create a conversation with this person so that they actually think that they are getting a personalized message from the salon, even though it's an automated message. Our ideal thing here is to get them to book online or pick up the phone and phone call you without you having to call them. Ultimately, you have to call them because that's the third piece of marketing is the personal touch, right? So we also want to back all this up with a phone call. When any of these campaigns are happening, because of the things we've loaded for you, they're going to be uploaded to your salon lead sheets, which most of you should have. If you don't have it or you're not set up to this point, then please get on my calendar and set up an appointment. I know there's a few of you lagging behind that really haven't gotten to this point yet, but I want you to get to this point because the clients that are here are already making a boatload of money off of this system. Okay? So that's campaigns explained. We're going to have some new features coming out that you'll be able to understand it a little bit better, but this is an overview. The only way to really, really learn it is to get in and play around with it. You can't break it, so worst case scenario, you make a messed up campaign, you delete it, create a new one. Not a big deal. The next thing is bulk requests. What bulk requests are, and I'll show you, very easy, right? So let's say we want to send out an email to everybody that we have as a client. The first thing we have to do is figure out what list we want to send that email or text message to. So we create a bulk request. So we come up here, we click Create Bulk Request. We name it. In this case, we'll just name it Test for tonight. I'll delete this afterwards. Okay. Then it's going to ask you to select a campaign. So we've created these campaigns, but we might have one that's going out for Valentine's Day or whatever, and we want to send a bulk request to a certain group of customers. So we come in here and we create it, okay, name. Then we say, okay, which campaign are we hooking it to? And we'll just use a nonsense one for now. We click that. That means that all these people that we add to this are going to go to that campaign. We schedule a time and date, and we'll say, I don't want to run it, so I'll say tomorrow, okay? And we hit the check mark, okay? Now the next two things are very important. Contact type and tag. If you've tagged your clients, your existing clients or pop-up leads or whatever, you can run to them. Contact type, it's going to very simply say this, all, right? Customers or leads. Most cases you're going to use all, and then you're going to go in and find a tag that you want. So in this case, the only tag we have going on right now is pop-up. Some of you have asked me to upload your client lists, which I've done, and they're probably tagged as existing clients. So you would just click this, And this is going to do this. So when I say add, it's going to come over here and it's going to create this group of people to push them to whatever campaign you told it to push to. Okay? As soon as you press this play button, it's going to start pushing those people into that campaign. So don't worry about creating it because it doesn't start until you push them into a campaign. So the first step is to set up the campaign, then to create the bulk list of people you want to send to that campaign. I hope that makes sense. It's really easier than what it sounds like. So in this case, again, if I push play, it's going to push all those people to that spot I told them to go to. And when you're in campaigns, after they upload, it's going to have how many people were pushed to that campaign right here. Okay, how many are active in the campaign? Active means that they are still being sent messages in that campaign, and how many completed the campaign. Okay, last but not least, you might have people replying to those messages, and that's right here, and it goes back to last week's lesson on looking at our conversations and always making sure every morning that we respond to anybody that's asked us a question or a follow-up or whatever it might have been by replying to our campaigns. So it might not always be a phone call. It could be a text message that they replied to, an email that they replied to, a Facebook message that they replied to. And if that's so, then you want to go into your conversations tab and you're going to want to reply to them. This salon obviously replied to everybody because there's no unread messages. So if we looked at those, in this case we have a whole bunch of messages that they've responded to, right? So here's the system, then here's a message from the client. When the client responds to one of these campaigns, if you have the campaign settings set where I showed you earlier to shut off when the campaign is answered, then you don't have to worry about going in and turning it off manually. If that makes sense to everybody. And that was in the campaign settings. Again, I'll show it to you in case you forgot. It's in the campaign configuration, and it's down here, stop on response. Okay? You can let it go if they respond. That's your option. Some people like it to stop on response and then pick up the personalized conversation. Okay? We also have a whole bunch of other things in here, which we'll get into at some point. We have a form builder. We have a survey builder. So you can build your own forms and surveys, and you may want to put them in web pages or into client intake forms. We are pre-building them for you right now. That's why some of you have seen the questionnaire in the group. Hey, send us your intake forms. Because that's something that's in our development pipeline right now. You can also build SMS and email templates. So what that means is you can actually have pre-formatted email templates, and I'll show you what that looks like while I'm going through this section. Let me just go over to the one that we're building for everybody right now. So you'll see we have a bunch of them in here right now. All of you will be getting a couple of these this week as soon as you set up an onboarding with us. You'll be able to launch some of the new features. But in this case, you'll see find your beauty guru template. This is an email template that's going to be set up for you that we just built. And basically, this is for our new beauty guru system that we built in here, which matches up your stylists to a client when they click this on the web page, and then sends them an email with their choices and book now buttons. So pretty powerful stuff. Just another fancy way of trying to make the client feel comfortable with your marketing and book an appointment. Okay, so again, that's templates. We have the survey builder, and we also have the SMS and email templates. The HTML builder, high-tech stuff, you'll probably never use it. If you know HTML, you can build your own HTML, which is basically coded web pages. That's it for this section. Okay, moving forward, some other things I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Next section, we would go to scheduling. Don't worry about it because we're not integrated yet with any salon platforms. We are in talks with some salon companies right now for that. Reputation management, your reputation manager is inside the system. So what I suggest when you're in here, of course I have none because it's not set up on ours, but let's go to an actual salon. So we'll go to Twirls. So you'll see in Twirls, you can see how people are responding to their reviews. And I talked to them today. What we should be doing is whenever somebody leaves us a review, whether it's good or bad, we should be responding. Hey, thanks for the great review. And we can do that from right inside the platform by just typing in our message here and saying respond. It's going to help with your Google rankings and your Facebook stuff, all that great stuff, right? So just make sure you jump in here and answer these as they're coming in. I know it's another task, but it's a task that I promise you will help you out. Review requests. If you sent out review requests, it's going to show you those here. Okay. Contacts. This is another big one that we'll go over briefly tonight. Some of you asked, how do I get my contacts in here? Okay, so you have a couple different ways of doing that. Okay, so we can go into contacts. We click that. You're going to see that the contacts, there's only 2 contacts in this list right now for Beauty Guru Match, but you can always say select the tag or select no tag. That's going to pull up all the contacts in the system. If you want to upload the contacts that haven't come into this system by the system creating them, then you have to come in here and you have to download your list from your Salon software for right now till we're integrated. And you just come in here and import contacts, and it's pretty simple. It's going to ask you to select a file. When you download from your Salon software, you're going to want to download in comma-separated value, okay? And it's going to pick up that file, and you just have to match up the fields, like name to name, email to email, phone number to phone number. And it's very self-explanatory, and once you do that, it will upload all of your contacts in here. While you're doing that, you can also tag them. Remember, we talked about tags. You can tag them existing clients. So you know who you're marketing to. You might not be, some of these people in here aren't going to be your clients yet. So you want to separate them by putting whatever tag in your mind separates those people. Okay? It's just like putting an index card on those people. Okay? Last that we're going to go over tonight before we take questions is funnels. Okay? Funnels are mini websites. Okay? That's the best way I can explain it. You have the ability to build landing pages in here. Landing pages, there are companies out there such as Lead Pages and Ubuntu and a couple other ones that they charge you $100 a month just to build landing pages, right? A landing page is a mini website that you should be using to drive ads to instead of your main website. So you can connect them to your main website. But again, mini websites. So most of you who have the Salon pop-up, you know what this looks like, right? So it's a 2-step mini website, basically. And you have a landing page and you have a thank you page. Pretty easy stuff to do. When you come in here, if you want to build one, it's very easy. We'll give you a template if you need to. And then you come in here and you just say edit page. And it's a drag and drop web builder, the same as the one you use on your regular website. Very easy to use. You just click the sections you want to change and you change them. The little gear icon is where you always open the settings for that section. And over on the left-hand side is going to be all the different things you can change on there. Okay? For instance, if I wanted to change this background picture, I would come here, hit open settings, come down here, and here's the BG, which is background image. I would just click this and pick an image out of my library or upload one. Okay, and you can get pretty detailed with these, we'll call them mini websites or landing pages. It depends on what you're looking to do. The majority of the time, you're just going to build a simple one-page landing page with then a thank you page, because after they click on this, you want something to happen. So you want them to just be taken to a thank you page that's going to prompt them into booking an appointment with you. Okay, and that, again, easy stuff. Here's a simple landing page, and here's a simple thank you page. And down here, we have a book an appointment link that takes them right to the online booking, because ultimately, we want them, after they download a coupon or whatever the call to action you're using, we want them to take the action to book an appointment, right? if they're not ready to get their hair done, they might not do it then. But if they are, then they might do it then. So don't forget, even though you're doing couponing and things like this, offers, calls to action, don't forget that that client is not your client yet, which means they are probably a client of somebody else, and you have to be there on a regular basis so that they're ready, when they're ready to break up with their existing salon or stylist, then you're right there and they have your offer right in front of them. So don't expect all of your leads to come to you overnight. They may be waiting till they're due for their next haircut or hair color or whatever it is, right? So you've got to be there in their face on a regular basis so that when that relationship breaks up, they're always thinking about you. So if they don't take action tonight on your call to action, make sure you remarket to them in the future. If you don't hear from them in 4 weeks, send another message. 4 weeks, send another message. The worst thing they can do is type in do not disturb, and then you take them off your platform. No big deal. Then you know the lead is officially dead. Okay? And I don't mean that literally. I mean as far as a marketing standpoint. They are not going to become your client. The probability of it is rare. So again, that is funnels, and they get, again, as detailed as you want them. Our refer a friend campaign and Beauty Guru are the new funnels that all of you are going to be getting, and what they look like, just to show you quickly. We just finished up on Twirls last night as kind of the beta client for them. This is the different systems. So you have Meet Your Beauty Guru, which is basically a system of matching your it doesn't have to be a stylist. It could be a technician, whatever kind of service technician you have in your place, any beauty guru, right? It's going to match them up to the client and then send that client an automated campaign saying, hey, I'm Mandy, and I'm glad to meet you, and I was matched up through our website. I can't wait to get you in for your first appointment, that type of thing. Next one is our new client tab. We already have the pop-up, which some of you are using. Now we're also going to have a tab inside the website, which just duplicates it. And the last is a Refer a Friend special. The Refer a Friend special is basically a couponing system that is going to send a coupon to the person referring, and it's also going to send a coupon to their friend once they give us their friend's data. What it's going to do, though, is it's going to send two separate coupons. So you might send $20 to the one referring, $10 to the other one, or vice versa, or whatever it is that you're doing, but the system is going to track who is giving you referrals and who is taking advantage of those referrals and send them marketing campaigns. Okay, so that should be done this week also, aside from, again, the newer stuff that we talked about, like the client intake forms and some other stuff. So with that, I'm going to jump off of explaining, and I'm going to unmute everybody, and we can chat.